Live. Today's show is going to be focused on the title "Be Yourself." Everyone else has been taken. So, authenticity is so key. I want to share that chat is open. Chat has been just so valuable, especially in the last 2 weeks. I mean, the numbers of participation and interaction has gone through the roof. I've got a whole week of guest stars already lined up for next week. And the people that are getting attracted to this show, primarily because of your participation and interaction and making it known and sharing with others, has been just so gratifying. And I'm all into helping the community, giving back. Givers get more than people anticipate. Oh, look at who we've got. We've got Munica here. She is just great. I mean, I know she's on a roll, and I check out everybody's profile who appears here, because that in itself is a credit to them for being able to step out and hopefully step up. And that's really the key. It's a process. Put your toe in the water, get comfortable, see everybody else swimming and having a good time. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Munica. Hello to you, and look forward to any questions or comments you may have on the show. Rashid is here. Hi, Donald from Saudi Arabia. I know, your presence is truly appreciated. The message I have is universal. I'm heavily into diversity and inclusion, and learning and complimenting everybody, and valuing everybody. Respect is something that's in such short supply, especially in the crowd of 870 million people, and that's why it's important to separate. Like I say, introduce yourself for recognition and promotion. 400 thought leaders will see this LinkedIn Live today, and we'll be seeing people's names on the screen, their comments, how you show up. This is almost like LinkedIn's Got Talent. We've got the love your statement for today. Well, thank you. Love is where it's at, and that's in short supply today. And what I found about helping people on LinkedIn is most of what they need is empathetic support. Just someone to tell them you're okay, it's going to be okay. And if you can't do it, maybe we could do it. Why not team up? There's strength in numbers, and the bigger the numbers, the bigger the strength. And that's what I'm hoping, that the really cost of admission to these learning experiences every day, and hopefully not just from me, but from you, because there's more of you and more experiences, is you share it with people who you think could benefit from it. Because if it's good for you, it's good for people like you. And that's an honor, is to connect people with other people, connect people with valuable assets that maybe you discovered early on. Really build up your giving muscles, see how much you can do for how many, for how long, and feel good about it. And that's where you work from. Because eventually, if you populate the community with goodwill, respect, and most importantly, relevant, and I can't stress relevant enough, value, you've got to come up with more than you want in return in order to get people off of center. You're already moving. You got an advantage. The key is, what do they need? What can they do for it? If it's not financial, is it service? And I think it is. And with 870 million people, with only a couple percent doing anything, look at the opportunity for people who go about it the opposite way of what they don't appreciate. People connect with me, and you can't get any worse than getting a message a millisecond later. And how did they get to know you so well? How did they get to know what you're looking for? And why didn't they get to know you? And that's just disqualifying. LinkedIn is a sorting business. And the facts are, some will, some won't. So what? You work with the workers, you work with the people who are ready. There's another saying, it's either easier to give birth than raise the dead. Don't keep going back to people who aren't moving. right? Get behind people or underneath people to lift them up for the ones who want to move. Christine's here. Great to have you, Christine. I mean, you're just like part of the show now. My goal is not to complain not once, going to be a challenge. You know, little things done right over time are easier to do and they compound. And, you know, pride takes over when you start seeing what you're doing work. And the key to it is accelerating your progress. Here's a fact. When you get into something new or get with someone new, you got an excitement level that's so high, but you've got a knowledge level that's so low. And unless your knowledge and support increases, your excitement will decrease and you're into the next adventure. You know, and if you don't have time to do it right, do you have time to do it over again? Christine, thank you so much. Here we have a gentleman. Can you help regarding scholarship in any university in any European country? No, I really can't. I don't have any, connections in that area or focus. But here's the point, Siptane, if I can share this with you, is that's what LinkedIn is about. That's what LinkedIn Live is about, is sharing the message, amplifying it. You couldn't find, and that's my goal, is to provide the best 30-minute investment or an hour if it goes that far on LinkedIn, where when you walk away from here, you can get real relevant connections, actionable takeaways, empathetic support, collaborative community answers to questions. All you got to do is put them on the table and let everybody have a go at it. And now you have options. So that's what I would do is if you have a question, you have a need, that's your niche. Just communicate about it. And what you want to do is have a pull marketing strategy, not a push. A push is you throw a bunch of stuff out there and hope something shows up. A pull marketing is sharing your thought leadership, your intention, your reason for being, which is your intention, and let people come to you. Let your calendar populate on its own. It's working. I do it. And what I do, anybody could do, because I do it time efficiently. But thank you for the question. It's a very good question. Good morning to all. Have a wonderful Friday. Well, thank you, Pauline. Same to you. And just by sharing that, you've made everybody on this show and everybody who's going to watch this show gain some value for it, because maybe they didn't identify today as a good morning yet. And now you reminded them. Mario was on the show this week. His laughter and smile and good heart are still reverberating around the show. You know, everything in life ripples. And the idea is putting in the right influences that can affect the most amount of people in the best possible ways in the shortest period of time. People want not only low-hanging fruit, but medium-hanging fruit and tall-hanging fruit. You got to give it to them all, and there's no reason to hold back. Mario, thank you again. One of the best. So, looking for some more questions, looking for some more interactions. Here's Christine. I don't know either, but you never know, someone else that sees this might reach out. Sometimes things just manifest in surprising ways when you least expect. Couldn't have said it better. You never know what you don't know. And if you don't know what is, you don't know what isn't. So with that said, it only takes one. I've had experience in my life by accident, pure sheer accident, I met up with a few individuals, changed everything in my life in so many wonderful ways. And I never knew waking up that morning that would happen. You know, you always know what you can do, but you don't know what you could have done, or you always know what you did. And you don't know what was all already out there, that you were just not in the right place at the right time with the right people. Munica. Love it. I feel that a lot goes on behind the scenes when we show up in person. People see what they see. I want to say in moments of great difficulty, your attitude is everything. We can gain or lose the victory according to our attitude. This is great. Well, this is the gym for attitude. You know, everybody can tell you what to do, how to do it. But if you're not moving, you're not going anywhere with anything that you just picked up. And what are those people doing that when they could be doing this? You know, it's what you feel that drives you. What you think can betray you, you know, because you can bully yourself worse than you could bully anybody else. And you wonder, why do you do it? And, you know, whatever is. It's whatever you want to make it for how long you want to make it that continues to give life to it. So the idea is today, new, fresh, give yourself a blessing, you know, forgive yourself, motivate yourself, you know, and if you can't, then find somebody who's out there like me, like this show, like the people on the show, who can provide it. We're waiting around for opportunity too. So while we're waiting, can we help somebody with their opportunity? Absolutely. But how many doors do you knock on every day? And what's the message you provide that person? Is it opaque? Is it like, I do everything, what do you need? You know, you don't want to be the one waiting for someone to purchase your time, or more importantly, your thought. And the worst thing is, even with Munica's comment, is your feelings, right? You want to be better for everything you do, not just richer, because richer is just very superficial. Stuff comes, stuff goes. You know, I was big on stuff at one time in my life, and I adopted minimalism only because the more stuff you got, the more stuff got you. Maintenance, you name it. Don't want to get too much into detail. What I'm going to do differently today is, if you're interested on coming on for just a short period of time, use private chat. I'll send you the link, and you know, be nice to get some interaction in real time with real people. So, you know, I'm trying to broaden this, expand it. Like I say, bring more people to it. By the grace of the Almighty, on an intermediate, God willing, I want to be part of Europe as a lecturer, and also want to get higher qualifications under my post-graduation degree. That's wonderful intention. And, you know, I think you really caught it just now, is by expressing detailed expectation, you know, you can get the specific individual, because you can tell everybody else, here's exactly what I want, you know, and they can move on their way without interruption, and you'll get less response, but more relevant response. And it's responding to what you put out there. You've already made a connection. Now you've made an interaction. How do you build on that? That's the key. Everything here is building. Okay, Pauline says, yes, attitude is everything. I can't see it any different, you know, because every day it's showtime, especially when you're on a LinkedIn Live. And you know, you get better every day by doing this, you know, and you get even better by doing it with others like you. And then then it just expands, you know. Everything you do should be sustainable, duplicatable, and scalable. And if you have that, you put in a little short-term pain for long-term gain, where the system, the platform works for you, because everything we're advocating here today, everything we're focused on going forward is supporting the LinkedIn platform. They're the boss. They control what you do, how you do it, and how well you do it, based on providing you organic traffic. If you support what they're doing from a standpoint of having more people interact for longer periods of time, stay on the platform, expand the audience, they need that. They got 2 or 3% participation, and Microsoft paid $28 billion for them a few years ago. What if they got 3-4 more points? That would be huge. And what if you were on the front end of doing that for them, with me, with us? And is that a better game plan than your game plan today? Because what this is a complement, not a disruption. Take what you got, add this, and then see where you go, and then redirect resources and attention when you know that it's a better opportunity. Because all you need, if you get 3, 4, 5 people going together, and we got more than that right now, and this is one of the best kept secrets on LinkedIn, and it's only because, you know, people are still holding on, still wondering, questioning, fearing. And what's wrong with that, it builds on itself the wrong way. And that's where attitude is so important, as Pauline is going yes, yes, yes with it, is how I measure success is happiness, satisfaction, pride. You know, if you can achieve those things every day, and not because of you, you know, because if it's about you, there's not enough you to last. But if you can be a small part of something big with some really great people, you get rich on so many levels. You get rich on the spiritual level. You get rich on a thought level. You get rich on a support level. And when you get rich in all these wonderful, sometimes intangible areas, you have no choice but to be rich in material things. That's the easiest thing to get and the easiest thing to lose. These other things take work, and work on yourself. And what I would suggest to everybody is that, you know, hire yourself while you're waiting for someone to hire you. What you're willing to do for somebody for so much should be at least as valuable to you. And if you're not working for somebody, hire yourself. But the main thing is work yourself as if you were someone else. You know, how many hours, what are you doing each hour? What are you getting every day or every week? And what are we doing to make it better every day? And that's what typical employment or partnerships look like, is everybody's got to keep building a log pile bigger than they found it. Amen from Kelly. You know, Kelly, we did a show yesterday, and it just blew it out of the water. And, you know, that was Kelly's first appearance as a guest host here. And she was phenomenal. Let me put this in. Okay. Okay. So this is the link to the broadcast right now. If anybody wants to copy it, or I could share it in chat, private chat, feel free. Kelly, Mario, people have been on here before. Love to be able to showcase you again. And, you know, part of this is coming up with new formats. I'm thinking about coming up with panels of different people based on their thought leadership, looking at, you know, open live chat, you know, that people can experience and really start to go beyond their toe in the water. So, hopefully, this encourages people, because what I'm seeing is what's really happening. I really started with Tara Gooch. She's an amazing lady who's on a fast track. Through that, met Gretchen Skelka and Jenny Maxwell. And all of them, including myself, as of 7 months ago, have never done this. Every one of us is starting to do our own now. That's how easy it is to step out, step up, and really soar. So, what I encourage people to do is keep doing what you're doing that's working for you. But here's the thing, it works better when you work it too. So it's not like catch a ride. It's like help the ride and then pick up more people along the ride, make it better than their experience outside of here. Because the way to success is really, a matter of, doing things what other people can or won't do. And that's important. So when you actually get into the game and you get into it with somebody, how did I get started on LinkedIn Live? I co-hosted a show with somebody for 6 months on their show. And then after a while, I outgrew it, and graduated to my own show. And that's what I want to do, is bring as many people onto LinkedIn Live the right way. Because the other thing about butting up on LinkedIn Live is that you gain the traffic of the person who brings you in. So, and I get the benefit of the traffic that the co-host brings in. So, in that case, it's really about exposure, promotion, relevancy, and to the subject at hand, be yourself. Everyone else has been taken, right? And why not? Because you should be proud of who you are. And if you're not, you should start working on changing who you are so you can be proud and loud. We've got Christine. Where can I learn about how LinkedIn algorithms work? That's the $1 million question. And I've been reading, I exercise every morning, and I'm always listening to an Audible. Lately, I got 60 Days to LinkedIn Success, which is a cool book. I mean, it's an Audible that I listen to. And every day it gives you 15 minutes of tips for what to do that day. And it covers 60 days. It's pretty interesting. And the last book I read was Hook Point, which is all about getting a hook for your headline and get people's attention within 3 to 5 seconds, because it's gone after that. And so are they. The LinkedIn algorithm, speaking directly to that, Christine, it changes like in so many ways every day. It just, because of what is going on, impacts how they measure, impacts how they reward, impacts how they punish. I'm seeing more and more people getting suspended. Why is that? Usually because they don't know any better. And LinkedIn doesn't give you a guidebook when you show up here. So until you do something wrong, do you know it was wrong? And who knows what else is wrong? But the things that get people knocked off and the algorithm works against them is automation, is copying other people's stuff. They see it, they know it. There's no escaping them. I mean, they're part of Microsoft. And the little things you do and the little ways you do them are so minuscule that to not measure every which way would be ridiculous. And that's why, they have an SSI score, if you're not familiar with it. You can Google it. And what it is it measures you on 3 areas, with the top being 100% and where you go from there. And highest I ever got was 84. But the higher the score, the more they expand your reach. So it's another reason why take care of them, they'll take care of you. There's no going off on your own here. You're not on your own. You're on their platform. And you're just one of 875 million. So don't think like, you're like a drop in the ocean. So you don't have that power. So the best thing to do is don't get in front of a freight train, get on top of it. But yeah, the algorithm's changing all the time. There's no way of fooling them, and there's no reason to, because to our subject, be yourself. There's nothing better than that. It's authentic. You don't get in trouble. And shortcuts are just that. They're shortcuts. Eventually, you got to have a long-term, sustainable strategy, and working with people that are going where they say they're going and can help you get to where you're going, and vice versa. Agreed, Donald. Be genuine, be yourself, and keep moving with your own pace, even with baby steps. You can say, look, this is great. Rashid is helping Siptain. You can apply directly to university websites for higher education. They're offering scholarships as well. I can't thank you enough, Rashid, because this is what it's about, helping others. Everybody came here today with a question. Everybody came here today with a challenge, and I'm talking LinkedIn centric. And everybody came here with an LinkedIn opportunity. Why are you holding it in when you got people here who are looking to do things, help? Because the more you help others, the more you expose yourself as a helper. And then people want to be helped by helpers. And it's reciprocal. It's the law of abundance. The more you put out, the more comes back to you. But, it's like yelling at a stove, say, give me fire and I'll give you wood. It's the same thing. You got to build it. You got to earn it. You got to keep doing it. You got to be dependable, accessible, thoughtful. I mean, are you? Or are you looking to, get something and get away with something? That's not right. And it's not a good thing. So yeah, these are so important. And how can you become better at who you are? Well, by being around more people. And in some ways, this whole program has been like polished by the audience, because I only look at throwing the ball out. That's my role, and keeping everything together. Once the ball goes into play, it's whoever kicks it, that's where the ball goes, and that's where it should go. Because that's what makes audience participation worthwhile, is either getting value, giving value, or experience the value people give and get from each other. And what the value becomes to you is you can model it. If it works for people like you, it'll work for you. And if they're having a good time, why shouldn't you also? I'm into quality of life, balance in life, and enjoying and living vicariously through other people's successes. It's lonely at the top, and that's where celebration comes in. And then that's all it takes. This is an ignition switch, this program. It's to get people moving, get people excited, get people back to dreaming again, believing again, helping more than they ever did before, and finding the joy that comes from that. I can't tell you how many times I preferred to give something to somebody who needed what it was and appreciated than sell it to someone who didn't. You got to get away from that superficial dollar per hour, trade time for money, trade joy for money. What are you doing with the money that makes it so necessary to do things that are maybe counter to your belief system or your joy system? And you know what? Whatever's happened has gotten you to today. And it doesn't have to take you any further. At this point, you can set your own course with who you always wanted to be, who you believe you truly are, and get out there and be loud and proud about it. Why wait when you can make, and why not help others? Everybody today is a blessing. No one promises anybody tomorrow, and nobody in a sense should expect it. So, if it's a gift and a blessing, what are you doing, to earn your rent here in a good way? And I think being yourself, being happy with yourself, because what's funny is when you're happy with yourself, the people around you are happier with you too, and they're happier themselves. So just like that ripple effect, get a little happier, smile a little bit more, say hello to people in ways and situations that you wouldn't, and don't be afraid to share your true thoughts and feelings. Again, in a respectful way, but I think that's so important. Munica, uh, agreed. Well, that's cool because everybody needs validation. Everybody needs support. How many times does a simple compliment that's given informally mean so much to you? And why? Because it's rare. I know how to put a smile on anybody's face. Is really take some time to find out what's really special about them. Maybe it's what they wear, maybe it's what they do, maybe it's how they do it. Whatever it is, it's not important. When you can share that in an authentic way, that is so meaningful. It's actually transformative because what you like about them, they don't know about till you tell them, and then they know they're likable. OG is here in the room. Good morning, people. Thanks for showing up, Christine. Maybe try this link to find opportunities. Okay. See, that's great. Christine's a giver. Givers get on LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn Live. Munica's, just getting into the flow but using it well. I'm so impressed with people sharing things that they can get a direct benefit right now. This is like, 8 people learning together and also learning from everybody's experience is so exponential if you look at it. The odds are so much in our favor. Pauline, stepping forward, stepping up, and dipping my toes in the pool. Being yourself is a daily mantra I share with my grandkids. Love being part of the whole for success and growth. Well, it's a long journey, LinkedIn, and it's a lonely journey if you make it that way. But it doesn't have to be that way. And without LinkedIn Live, I could never be doing this through a text post or putting up a picture or a self-made video. No one cares about you, and that's just the way it is until they get to know you and appreciate you. And in the meantime, everybody's listening to WIIFM, which is what's in it for me. And you got 3 to 5 seconds to get them to know what's in it for them, or goodbye. Thank you, Pauline. And try it. Whatever you did yesterday, you can go back to doing tomorrow. Change is what makes everything happen. Christine? Okay, I found this opportunity. Wow, that's so cool. You can always go to comments when this post and look at everything that people shared here. You can also start any day at 11 a.m. Eastern time on my profile, and you can click on the LinkedIn Live. So if you missed the announcement or, whatever, that's a great way. Christine, you're just all help today. I can't thank you enough. With that said, being yourself, being authentic, you never have to have a good memory. You just are who you are. I love this show because it's so efficient on so many levels. I do no preparation. I changed the headline. Now it's be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. See, I'm not doing 7 ways to tag, 16 ways to pull. There's enough knowledge and information. I'm not going to top it. I'm into sharing what you can do based on what I'm already doing every day, sharing how I'm doing it, with who I'm doing it, total open kimono, nothing to the imagination. And it's up to you to absorb it, enjoy it, profit from it, and then do the same for someone else. Isn't that great? You're getting from someone, you're giving to yourself, and then you're sharing your success method with other worthwhile, relevant, aligned individuals. That's the whole package. And then it's just doing more faster. Oh, Kelly, I can't thank Kelly enough. What a wonderful individual. When you're done, reach out to Kelly, check out her profile. I could speak for Mario too. You'll get two of the best connections you'll ever find on LinkedIn. Author, also connect with Christy Howard, as she may be a fabulous resource for you. You know, Kelly does so much for so many on so many levels, and I really respect and honor that. And there's other people. You know, Gretchen Skelka, she's another person. She'll be on Monday. She's been on every Monday for a long time. And she has a resource list of people she refers people to. She only wants to do what she wants to do, but when she has opportunities, she loves connecting people. Munica says, thank you again, Kelly. Munica says, stay genuine. Thank you for that. You know, there's so much to you that you should celebrate. You know, you made it this far. You know, you're still kicking. And now you can be everything you ever wanted to be because you give yourself permission instead of waiting for someone else to, or being inhibited in the past because of so many who did. Kelly, thank you, Don. You bet. Very sincere. Thank you so much, Munica says. See, you know, when you're getting thank yous, you're getting value received and appreciated in real time, you know, and little things, again, can get you moving. You know, how many times are you like on the edge and you can't be on both sides of the fence at the same time? Did something move you forward, move you away from standing still? That's what this is. And, you know, the thing is, not everybody knows what you need. And by being authentic and sharing and, you know, not getting overwhelming with that, but, you know, being responsible, why wait? You know, what's going to be better tomorrow? Author, you're very welcome. You know, again, Munica, I'm be having a conversation with her. Everybody who appears on the show as a commenter, as a guest, I'd love to have a Zoom call with you, you know, to get to know you, see what I can do to help you, see what we could do to help each other. Oh, Paul's here. Paul's a great guy. I'm going to have Paul on the show. I always say, in a world full of duplicates, be an original. Hey, that is so cool. I'm going to use that, you know, and everything I say, all my sayings and whatever metaphors, I picked up from someone else, you know, and I honor them by continuing a lot of these things that are just universal truths. And, you know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. An illustration like that, like be yourself, everyone else is taken, really gives you a better mindset and a viewpoint. Kelly says, modern financial advice. Amen to that. Yeah, this is so cool. The core is starting to come together. You know, and here's the thing. This is 100 times of lifetime opportunity. And I've caught a couple major waves in my business career. I know what it is. I know what it feels like. I know what the rumbling of a volcano sounds like before it blows. We're sitting on top of a volcano here. And the benefit is anybody who wants to get involved, anybody who wants to join what we're doing here, maybe can find even better opportunity right in front of them. I think I mentioned that old, it was one of the first motivational personal development authors. It was like 120 years ago when personal development was really coming into its own. And the story was, and you can look it up on Google, it's, you know, not a big story as far as reading time. But it was a farmer who was always dreaming about being a diamond hunter and going to far off lands and having all these wonderful exotic adventures and being rich. So one day he sold his farm and took all the money and traveled around the world looking for diamonds and ended up broke. Well, the gentleman who bought his farm was digging for water, and when he got down to like 7 feet or so, he found one of the biggest diamonds ever found, and his whole farm was full of diamonds. So the person who was working it, owned it, standing right on top of it, didn't explore what was right in front of them and chased a dream that never got realized. Work with where you are, who you are, with what you have. Start before you're ready and just catch up. Paul, personal development has been a game changer for me. It's crazy how many people don't realize they are their greatest assets. You know, Paul, you're spot on. The key to success is to claim it, name it, and live up to supporting it. You are whatever you determine you are. Now the question is, can you do it? So, you know, you can give yourself any position, any job title, any distinction, and you should. What are you the best at? What do you feel the most confident at? Well, that's who you are, right? And that's who you should say you are to everybody. Make it clear, make it loud, make it proud. But here's the thing, and you know, you can do all this creative stuff, you can do all this motivational stuff, but you got to know the ins and outs of everything. You can't be driving with your emergency brake on and not even knowing it. And that's what most people do. So it's the proficiency that you can pick up through this knowledge share. If there's 20 people on the show, you know, and 20 people share their experience every day with who's on the show, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that's 7,000 different interactions that people can experience by just showing up at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And the guests are getting stronger. They're getting better. I'm getting much better. You know, I even developed a list of what to do and how to do it to go live. And it's the simplest thing in the world. Christine, I have to work on my personal development daily or I go back to bad habits, self-pity, not helping others regularly, etc. That's why I start with exercise. I start with an audible, you know, change your mind, change your thoughts, change your actions. And, you know, some days you wake up and you say, gosh, I feel like $1 million. The world is my oyster. I can't wait to live this day. The next day you wake up and you don't want to get out of bed. And you ask yourself, how did the world change so quickly in one day? Didn't. You know, the only thing you got control of is you. And if you take responsibility for you and accountability, you won't get into the blame game because there's always a reason. There's always a person. So what? It's always going to be that way. Get used to it. Work with it. Work around it. Work above it. Get away from it. Whatever. Make moves. You know, there's something to action. And it's a lot more energizing than sitting around moping, waiting. And if it shows up, is it going to show up again? I mean, what's the odds? Play the lottery. At least it's over fast. Kelly says, Christine, for you, you're working on it. That's a win. You know, Kelly's always there to give that extra bit of support. I know when I'm talking with her, co-hosting with her, there's just an energy level. I mentioned today she's just a natural broadcaster because she's got an honest heart that she's willing to share to help others. And that's kind of rare, and it's worth promoting and recognizing. Kelly, not criticizing, I just know myself. It took a while to get into the woods, take a while to get out. I slip into old ways really easily. It's a constant discipline. Well, believe me, Christine, you're not alone. I can tell you, I learned so much more on the way down than I ever learned on the way up. On the way up, you think it's you think you can't miss, you just, and that's great. It's fun to feel that way, but it doesn't have the basis you really believe or the long-term uh, opportunity. And on the way down, I got so humbled. I became so modest because I realized that anything could happen and your world changes overnight, good and bad. And that's why when you got an opportunity, when you got a chance, when you can get in the game, and this is the front end. Ask the first 50 people who joined Microsoft how well they did, or Google. But you know what? They didn't just buy a ticket. They were fuel for the train. And that's what you need to be, is whether it's this or that or something. Do something that's bigger than yourself and you'll worry less about yourself. When people need you, you're focused on that more than yourself. There's, again, too much you. The game is typically between you and yourself. Attitude, being yourself. I mean, I think we've kind of gone full circle, with this discussion, but it also elicited so many wonderful connections, hopefully, interactions, future relationships, knowledge sharing, motivation, inspiration, education, entertainment. It's the variety LinkedIn's Got Talent show that we're doing every day. And it's like a snowball going up a hill. You can't stop it on the way down. And this is going to start picking up more momentum because everybody on the show, every guest host gets featured in my weekly newsletter. Everybody on the show, everybody who comments and shows up gets tagged in the post following this. And, it's just, I'm giving it everything I got. I'm leaning into it, and then I'm leaning into it more. And it really pushes you in a good way, stretches you, makes you want to be better because other people are being better. And everybody, you want to run with the big dogs, the fast dogs, the ones that really like distinguish, differentiate themselves in a wonderful way. So with that health, here's Christine. Mental health is important. It takes courage to recognize what you need to do for yourself to stay healthy, mentally and physically. Munica, spot on again. Mental health is something that people need to focus on integrating in what they do and why they do it. You can't just say, will I be successful? Will I make a lot? Because that's usually what people say is, hey, what would this do for me? Better my lifestyle, whatever. But, focus should be on, like I say, happiness. Happiness is hard to, it's the opposite of being depressed almost in a way. But, find joy in little things. Celebrate things that you take for granted. And it could be, buy yourself a cupcake and light a candle for yourself and blow it out. How difficult, how long, how expensive is that? But you know what it does? It gives you a pause. It gives you an opportunity to reflect. And that's another crucial element of success on LinkedIn, is too many people are doing, and they should be doing, reviewing, reflecting, and then reinventing, right? A lot of re's there. But, that's what it is. Take what you got, look at it, and add to it. It's building on whatever it is. Any thoughts on how LinkedIn Live compares with podcasting? I'm guessing the reach is broader, and like you said before, it's fresh information. Exactly. And LinkedIn is superior because they announce you to your audience or your network or community that your connections. And that's just top of mind awareness, even for those who don't engage. Second thing is they post for you. Third thing is you're on the platform that the people you're interacting with are on the platform. Anytime you go further away from where you are, you're going to get more insulated, more distant, and you want now real. And that's why I do 11 a.m. every day at Eastern time, because it's for the people to remember it's every day 11 a.m. Eastern time. I could do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then Fridays 11. Who's going to remember that stuff? Make it easy for people. They make it easy for you. Make people happy. They remember how they got happy. I trust people to trust themselves. You don't have to share the whole story. Just give them a start. See where they go. And that determines maybe where you go next. LinkedIn Live, I do it every day. It's the only thing I do. I'd be doing something else if there was something better. And there's more room than I got capacity, no matter how much I do. And that's what I'm saying, is I'm welcoming people not only on the show, but to see how we can expand this opportunity and then share in the benefits that people bring. I'm all into pay for performance and, responsibility and accountability. Paul, Don, if you had to go back and tell your 25-year-old 3 things, what would you say? Well, actually, I got a 35-year-old, and I'm so proud to have had the pleasure of having them work with me side by side in my business for 8 years. And what I would tell them is everything I'm saying today. Be accountable, be responsible, be a giver, and create as much value for as many people as you can. And that's where your role is. And, I'll tell you one thing. This son of mine was the youngest general manager in professional sports one year and has been to 9 national championship games in lacrosse. So anyways, those are the 3 things I'd say. But, saying is cool. Doing is everything. Telling is nice, but showing is where it's at. And that's why I say, get real, be yourself, be proud of yourself. If you're not, continue to work on yourself. Like I say, a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain is worth it versus short-term gain for long-term pain. Realize the game plays with or without you. But wouldn't you like to be in charge of you in the game than have the game play you? I would. So anyways, that's what I've told my son. That's what he's taken and run with. And it's a great question. And I hope people understand, I'll say one thing. I don't like to get off too much, but in my whole business career, I never went to work until the kids were in school every day, and I never missed dinner. I mean, if it was 5:30 at work, everybody get out of here. I used to chase them out. I say, because most people aren't that effective, and most people got things to do. And what I told everybody, if you got something special, you tell me, I'll make sure it happens. And if people at a baseball game or a birthday party, it made I had monthly bowling party. I mean, it was just incredible. We're the top 10 employers in Denver for so many years. Here we go. Greetings coming from Antwerp, Belgium. Good evening to you all. Rashida Ben Salam. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just love diversity. I just love inclusion, because that's how you really accelerate. Take down the walls, take down the barriers, take down the disrespect, and exchange it, for love, for respect, for thoughtfulness, and for helpfulness. Nice people are great. Nice people that help you are better than great. They're transformative, right? Who's going to be somebody's fairy godmother today, and grant them something that they didn't expect? Life is full of unbelievable surprises. You just got to be open to it and be an unbelievable surprise for other people. I mean, and that's so important. short-term pain, long-term pain. That's why I'm getting my, and yes, now I make sure to make sure I always have time for my 11-year-old twins. Well, to me, again, that was a joy to have the opportunity uh, to impact people in a good way, especially kids, because, and now I got some wonderful grandkids. I much more enjoyed looking through the world through their eyes and having them share it with me because they're innocent in most cases, and they're real, and they don't know a lot of things that they're better off knowing it versus sharing my world through my eyes to them. They got plenty of time on their own to get there, and hopefully it'll be a better place when that happens. But yeah, that's the thing. Sit down with yourself and help yourself, counsel yourself in a positive way, not in you did this wrong, you screwed that up. Oh, I can't believe this. I mean, geez, that loop will just take you down, and why? Because eventually you're still you, and you still got to get up sometime or not. But why not choose a different approach? Try something new. And if you can't do it, maybe we could do it. Here's Rashid. Nice people are informative indeed. Too bad over here we are not appreciated. Web should. Our kindness is often mistaken for weakness. Yeah, but again, there's value to association and there's value to disassociation. And you are the factor of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are they? Do you have a choice? If you do, exchange, upgrade. You ever have an old kitchen, you say, hey, it's time for an upgrade, and all of a sudden this is like night and day from what it was. It can happen as quick as you make it happen. You've got 875 million people. You got 20, 30, who knows how many people on this show, and another 6 times as many after this show. If you're not asking the right way to the right people for the right reasons, and more importantly, or as importantly, being able to provide an excess of value in return and a commitment of sincerity and appreciation. That's all it takes. Check all those boxes and go to work on it. And it's not like, don't go out needy. Needy scares people. It inhibits people. Come out hopeful. Come out with a message of positivity and why this is important. I mean, if you're going to ask, you got to give it all. You got to share it all. Why leave something to imagination? Why let someone guess? And maybe why leave something out that could have turned the corner for you? Okay, boundaries help. When that doesn't work, make a change. I changed jobs a year ago, and I'm so appreciative and fulfilled because of it. Christine, you're so wise, because when you look back, if you can take full responsibility for everything you do, it saves that time and blame. And sometimes, a lot of times, I take responsibility even when it's not mine, just to move on, not to major in the minors. Too many people are stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. Boundaries help, but also initiative. Sometimes you don't have to break free. You just accelerate through. Right? You just get on a faster track and leave those people who are not going anywhere fast behind and meet up on the racetrack with the high flyers. That's so important. I mean, yes, sir, there's value in disassociation, seek long-term relations, build on trust and integrity. And if you have some of those, that's all you need. If you get 2 or 3 really strong individuals who want to lock arms with you, put their heads together. And what I'm going to be doing is building a 1-hour Zoom collaboration group that meets every week and allows people to lay the stuff on a table. Everybody shows up on the Zoom in real time, and they're on the screen actually, I'm going to give away free passes for people to try it. And if I decide to make it really go, it'll be a very nominal charge. So a person will get continued value, but a little bit more focused time, attention, and effort to specific. It's like Tab or Vistage used to be, but on steroids and with people you already know and trust. Rashida says, I did make changes, gave my notice today and started. Wow, congratulations. I work for, and who has asked me back now? How can I refuse it? I'm happy with my decision, feel so much better already. Well, I'm proud of you, Rashida. I just met you. But, it shows you that time can be your friend. Patience and perseverance are really key elements. And those are things that you need to develop and apply. I look at where I'm at on LinkedIn Live and LinkedIn as a 5-year plan that I'm 3.5 years into. Within the next year and a half, this will be a platform, a community that will start to return value in greater proportion than was given. Just the way it is. If you're at the front end of some super important, valuable vehicle, you're going to get the benefit just from association. So I can't wait. I know where this show was 3 months ago. I've been doing it now every day, I think, for 8 months. That's 240 days in a row of doing this show, 1,000 days in a row of posting every day on LinkedIn. I'm picking up steam, but I'm only doing it because you're the engine. You're the driving force. You're the reason for me being here. If I wanted to talk to myself, I wouldn't have to talk to a camera. But if I wanted to help so many people, I couldn't talk to myself. So with that said, I know I try to end it around 10 because I know everybody's got to move on and go somewhere. So thank you so much. It's not always easy to do this for an hour, and it's definitely not easy to do it without you. But it does make it easy when you take over, and I'm able to be part of the audience also. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow we got a special guest. Hope you can make it. And for the next 7 days, we've got some special guests. Tomorrow's Trevor, if you know Trevor, Van, I forgot. And then Sunday is Sandra, and she's just Hawkins, and she's just amazing. I mean, just amazing. So if you can, catch those shows. Talk to you later. Bye for now.